Welcome to AAPC Social Hour.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, hey. It is December 14th, 2022. I have my friend Kimberly Jolivet Williams with me. Hey, Kimberly.
Hey, everybody. Happy Hump Day Wednesday.
That's right. And I got to change my view. It looks like I'm watching us online right now,
Mhm.
and I was just on speaker view. Let's see if we can fix that. We might have, oh, there we go. Okay. And Kimberly and I were just talking about Christmas
Yes.
and shopping, and I was telling her that I was in bed this morning. Like my wife was like, "Hey, will you take care of Landon's stuff? Just finish it off for me."
Yes.
So I was in bed doing some shopping. Kimberly, you're about there too. You're almost
Yes.
to the finish line.
I'm telling you, it came so quickly. I can't believe we're almost less than a week away from Christmas. It's
Oh yeah,
like, where does the time go?
that's right. That's right. But it's I love this time of the year.
Oh, yes. It's definitely my
Yeah,
favorite as well.
yeah, yeah. So, what is your favorite tradition, or does your family have traditions or a tradition that you guys do every year, Kimberly?
It's funny you bring that up because we just had a couples gathering on Sunday. And that was one of the questions. They were like, what do your family like to do as a tradition or a ritual every year at the Christmas holiday time or the holidays, period? And so one thing we love to do is get together with family. I laugh and I tell everybody here lately, I've had so much family come in for Thanksgiving. I had my aunt and my cousin come in. Then a couple weeks ago, I had two aunts come in because they wanted to fit it in between the Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so I find that we do a lot of social gatherings and just enjoying family time and quality time. I love getting my grandkids, as soon as they get out of school, if I can get them, I get them and I try to spend that break with them because they're young right now, but it's like they're 11 and 6. But I'm like, before you know it, they're going to be so grown, they're going to want to do their own thing. So I'm trying to develop and, nurture those memories with them right now.
Yes,
And me and my husband, we just really we also love to do. I don't know if you've heard of the angel tree. And
I'm vaguely familiar. Tell us about that.
yeah, so what it is they put little families on a tree, and you can get them at the mall. We'll do them at my church sometimes. They'll at different entities, and you can pull just anonymous people and go out and purchase gifts for that family based on the list that they created. And me and my husband, we love to do that and just pick random individuals that we can bless and donate Christmas items to as well.
I love it. I love it. It's about giving and lifting others,
Absolutely.
or at least being. We should do that all the time, but
I
be
know, right?
reminded of those things.
I
Yeah,
try
yeah,
to, like, I'll be honest,
yeah.
I don't do it all the time, but every now and then, if I'm in line at a grocery store and, someone's struggling, I was like, oh, just put it on my tab. I do try to do that every now and then
Uh,
as a little pay it forward, but we should do it more often. You're right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we have some members who are joining us this morning. Stacy Sylvester, we see you, Stacy. Rahul Shavan, and I think that Rahul may be an international member. As let's see here, I see Wisdom Michael from Nigeria. So we have people from all over the world who may
Yeah,
not celebrate this time of the
that's
year like we do here. And I'm
right.
curious, do you, Raul and Wisdom, celebrate the holidays like we do in the US? That'd be interesting to know. But I see Natalia, she's in. Our friend Mariah Edwards, who is just down the street from me in far west Utah. Mariah and I have been hit by the snow big time.
Whoa.
And yes, yes. So I think there's a little break right now. Kimberly, you're in Texas.
I'm in Texas, and when we get snow, the world stops.
Uh,
We're like, close everything, nobody's leaving.
yeah.
We're not used to that. So when we get snow out here, it is an event for sure.
Yeah. And hey, Christine's with us.
Yes, I am so sorry. Technology hates me. I'm just gonna be honest.
Nothing
Hey,
hates
my
you.
friend.
Hey, Alex, how are you? Hi, Kimberly.
So good to see you. Glad you were able to make it.
Thank you.
And we were just talking about wrapping up our Christmas gift buying. Are you all wrapped up and ready to go for next week?
I'm done, but I'm not wrapped.
Okay. Yes.
But
Yeah,
I'm done.
You're getting, that's good. That's a
And
good
I can't
feeling.
tell you any more than that because he's listening, and I don't want him to know what he got for Christmas.
That's right.
He's got to be surprised.
That's
So
right. That's
we
right.
can't talk
Okay.
about that.
Okay.
Thank you.
This conversation did not happen.
That's right.
I see Monique from Buffalo, New York. They were hit with snow pretty hard a few weeks ago.
Guess what? Monique, I'm coming to the city for my very first time next week. And I was looking forward to a snowball fight.
Yes, you might get that. You be careful. You get what you ask for, Christine.
Yes.
No, I know. I've realized that now. Yeah, you're kind of right.
Yeah.
From South Florida to New York City. Oh,
Oh boy. Yeah. Do you even own a parka or big coat?
I actually do. It's in the way back of my closet. It gets dry cleaned like once every 10 years because that's about how often I pull it out.
Yeah.
I tell you, you have to have the right coat. I learned that the hard way when I went to Chicago one year. It's like my Texas coat was no match.
Hey guys, Craig Larson, our dear friend, is watching. Hey Craig.
Hey,
Good to
Craig.
see you.
Hey, Craig.
And we have a few people in the waiting room. I'm going to let them in right now.
Awesome.
Bridget Toomey and Lee Fifield. And we're just going to talk about a few things on there. Here she comes. Here they come.
Hey, Bridget.
Such a
and Lee.
Bridget fan, I'm going to be honest with you. So now I'm doing a little fangirl right now.
I know, right?
Hi Lee. Hi Bridget.
Hey, Lee.
Hello. Hi. How's everyone?
Hello.
Gosh,
It's
we're all
good
so
to
happy
see
today.
everybody.
Y'all doing?
Happy holidays. Bridget has her tree right behind her.
Isn't that
Oh,
cute?
Yes. And then I don't know if you guys can see that, but I have two white fluffy cats in my life. And so one of my staff members, one of my people on my team got me these lights for my holiday gift this year. They just burned out though, so I think I need new batteries, but they're cats. They're hard to see, but those are little.
Love it.
That's cute. That's
And that was the bag that they were in.
Oh, how
cat.
cute.
So I
is
hung it up.
adorable.
Bridget, there's no way my gift will fit under that tree.
Oh, well, you can't see the floor.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, hey, Lee, how are things in your world?
Good. The sun is shining today, which is about all you can ask for in Central New York at this time of year. So
Oh boy.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
No, it's going all right though. Christmas is coming. Got my shopping done, so everything's
right.
good.
You've got your red wall that's ready for the holiday season all year round.
That's true. That's true. I need some green ribbons or something in my hair and
Yeah, there
and
you
red
go.
wall, and I'll be all set.
Tell me you repaint the wall different color based on the holiday. That would be something.
That's a lot of work, Bridget.
It is a lot.
A lot of ambition, and I don't have that.
Yeah,
And
no.
who has
Actually, no
time?
worries.
It's like, where you find the time?
Hey,
I
this is a,
repainted my whole basement this past weekend
oh my
I,
goodness.
Wow.
because I have a family coming, and I was like, oh, I don't really like this color, and then, oops,
Wow.
took a lot. It was fine though. I love painting.
We Bridget really had to block out this time, so I want to be respectful of that. But I got to read this comment. Karen Nicholson says, "Is that Kimberly Jolivet?" Like Kimberly, you are all over the internet. You're all over social media.
Hey, I told you I'm intentional about it. I try to spread a little positive cheer all the time. So
Yeah, I love it. Well, Bridget's here to talk about her December article in Healthcare Business Monthly called Staying Home, Staying Healthy. So many of us are at home. I mean, we coders, many were already working at home pre-pandemic, but now even more of us are at home, and it is tough to stay healthy. I sit way more than when I was in the office.
I know.
Bridget, help me be my best me while working from home.
Well, I'm similar. So as you can tell, I'm in an office right now. I'm within the hospital that I work at. So so I do work from home every now and then too, but I have a lot of staff and a lot of people who are doing like the hybrid. And I know there's a lot of people out there. You'll see in the article that when AAPC did a survey just a couple of years ago, it was 30% or so were working remotely, and now the respondents, it's up to 70. So I mean, that's huge. And so when I am at home, I don't know about you guys, I get like zoomed in literally on Zoom, but like really focused, and sometimes you like forget to get up and like do other things and move, because you're not going, you know, to do like walk to another meeting, or you kind of cut all that out. And so it is really important to remind yourself. And so some of the biggest things you could even do is, and I have in the article put some different apps or applications on your phone or computer, like a timer, right? Like a fundamental, like basic function of a timer telling you stand up, go walk around, do something, you know, take a walk around the block, or if you have exercise equipment in your own house, like get that out and use it. One great thing about the remote work that's really opened up for people though is if you do want to either work out in your own home using, you know, equipment like a Peloton or an elliptical or whatever, you can just hop on over and do it. Or if you're going to the gym, right, you get to cut out all that travel time. So in my head, I'm one of those people that's like, oh, man, I don't have the time to get dressed and go and do that thing and drive over there. But if you're at home and, you know, you're in a meeting, maybe you turn your camera off, you change your clothes real quick, then you're ready to go right when it's over, you can sort of eliminate some of that. But if you can't do any of those things, there are modifications you can make to your workspace, meaning like a sit stand. So I have a sit stand in my office here, use it all the time, because, you know, we've been in some of those meetings, and I'm like a person who kind of has to move to pay attention. So sometimes I'll just kind of lift my desk up and walk in place. Or I have one of these, and I have this sitting in here too. It goes under your desk and you can pedal. And the great thing is if you have a sit stand desk, then you don't have to worry about the knees hitting it, right? So you can lift it up a little bit, still sit down if you have, if you know, standing isn't your thing, or you have like knee issues or other things, but you can do this pretty easily. Maybe not with your arms, I guess you can. But you know, doing it while you're in a meeting or talking. I want to invest in this, but another woman on my team, she's in the office next door to me. She got a treadmill that goes under your sit stand desk, and so she can walk while listening. So you know,
we just ordered an adapter, the lift component of the sit stand desk, and so I can use my desk with the lift, and it will lift it up. And then, like you said, 20 minutes, every 20 minutes, I have an alarm that goes off. I lift the desk and stand. 20 minutes later, I put the desk down and sit. And I didn't realize it was so inexpensive for you Amazon shoppers.
I know. I actually watched one of the ladies here, and she did one of those show when you were doing, Alex, people showing their work office space.
Yeah, coder cribs.
Yes. And she had an autonomous desk. And so I went out, got me one of those, and then I already had this QB. I don't know if y'all heard of the QB, where you sit and you pedal. It's a CUBII, and it fit perfectly underneath the desk. And so I don't use it every day like I should. I'm gonna take your tip, Bridget, and get me an app that remind me to do it, because I am like some of the people in the chat. I'll get working, and next thing you know, it's 6 hours later. I haven't even stood up, taken a break, eaten lunch or anything. But I'm gonna try to be more mindful about that.
The biggest thing that I found with me, like I said, I'm just like what you described. I'll forget to get up and move. I'm just going from like meeting to meeting, or if I'm really focused in. I started doing this actually after taking a class about creating habits. I started putting it in my Outlook calendar. Break. Because I live and breathe by my calendar. Like that's the only way I know where I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be there. And if it, you know, that pop-up says take a break or go walk, it's like, oh, you're right, I built that in my time. and it's my time to go and do that. And we all need those breaks. So
Yeah, that's
kind of
smart.
finding those things that work for your brain and your setup. There's so
It's
many
in- It's interesting because I never realized how helpful it was to be in the office, and you have those natural moments where you have to go talk to someone across in the hall or down the hall, or to even go get a drink of water or whatever to fill
Those
up your
water
bottle.
cooler breaks. Mhm.
Yes, and at home everything's within several feet of each other, and I think Bridget, you've got your cats, and Christine has her puppy she just showed, but that may help you. Yeah, I mean, you have to take your little guy out to,
Yeah.
Toby Hall.
Toby Hall, he's really great. He comes up and he's like, hey, mom, hey, mom. Gotcha.
love
Nice.
that. The
Yes.
natural timer, the dog timer, right?
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
Bridget also wrote an article about yoga a few years ago for Healthcare Business Monthly. If you go into our
There's a
blog,
couple of them in there. Yeah.
are there? Okay,
Mhm.
yeah. So go to the AAPC blog, in the search field, type yoga in, and Bridget's work will show up. And that might be a good way to break up that as well, to get your body moving a little bit. Add one of those exercises in here and there.
Yeah, and it's so the great thing about it is it's, labeled as office, but a lot of it is also adaptive chair yoga type poses. So it's pretty easy, fundamental stretches. And once you learn them, then you can just do them no matter where you are. And it's just really about like literally getting the blood flowing and moving around again, get your brain moving again, like rejuvenation. And they're pretty straightforward, simple. And again, you can do them sitting at your desk, but for also those who have mobility issues or, like joint pain, some of this stuff you can do seated in any situation, even when you're not at work. Yeah, you can pull those up.
And I do love that QB though, because I am one of those joint pain candidates. I had a knee surgery back in like 2017, and it was a meniscus tear, and
Oh, yep.
like trying to recover from that. It's like constantly, it is a deterrent, because when the weather change or anything, it'll start hurting real bad, and I just don't want to do it. But that's what promoted me to get this QB, and I'll try to at least remind myself 5-10 minutes, just sit here and do it at least 5-10 minutes to keep that leg going.
That's perfect. Exactly.
Well, if you were looking for a Christmas present, Kimberly, just saying.
Wait. Got you. Okay.
Hey, Bridget, I know you have to run. I don't want to, but real quick, we're going to do a quick coder confession segment. So how many watching or even participating, co-hosting today with me right now have gotten in the habit of like wearing sweats, and then you just throw on a nicer top for your meetings? Okay, so, and I will say, like, for a long time I was doing that, but I'm just thinking about mental health as well. And I've learned recently that if I dress up a little better, it affects how, I feel a lot better. I don't know if my quality of work goes up or down, but but I feel better and more energized. I'll say that.
I tell you, today I'm feeling festive. I don't know if y'all can see my shirt.
Ooh.
And my snowman. So I did get dressed today, but I am guilty of the sweats nice top thing too.
I got no comment right now.
Can be, it depends. But like you said, I mean, it's like, I knew it was gonna be on camera. Made sure my hair was okay. I have makeup on today, and it does make you feel better. I have a friend who's worked from home for 20 years, and she gets ready for work every morning, right down to putting on shoes. And it makes you
in her house.
yeah, I don't know. Makes you feel like she's going to work, even though she's walking from her bedroom to her office.
She's got her heels
shoes
on.
off sometimes in my own office, so I like bare feet though.
So, yep.
We have a lot of comments. Leggings, and Beverly Johnson says, even when I'm working at home, I have to get ready for the day. Tiffany Strong says we had a meeting today. I was professional from the waist up, but had heart pajama bottoms on. So it's, we do what works for us. And I think we kind of evolve as we learn what works best to help us feel our best.
Well, does it count if you color code your bottoms to match your professional top?
I mean, that took thought.
There's some thought goes into that, Bridget.
Yeah,
You can't just walk out with mismatched sweats. You have to have that, or leggings.
Yeah. No, what I was gonna say though, I think one of the best kept secrets, well, I mean, maybe we all know, but like most dress pants for women these days are like basically pajama pants anyway. Like I would say, like like this stuff is stretchy already. I'm dressed up, but like I'm comfortable. So they can kind of almost interchange sometimes. So
if you subscribe to that, Bridget, I'm just gonna say that too. Like, these are my new professional pants.
I mean, technically these are dress pants, but man, they kind of almost feel like leggings. So you can be comfortable and look nice.
Right. Yeah.
My big thing is like, I don't want to get all these clothes dirty. That's what I always think. I'm like, I'll just wear the sweatpants. But
I saw on one of the news channels, they did this fashion segment thing, and they were telling you how you could take your casual clothes, match it up with a nice blouse and a jacket, and make you feel more comfortable. Yeah, and more people are doing that.
all pants should be elastic.
Agreed.
Regardless of where you are.
Well, Bridget, thanks so much for being here. I know it was a bit tough for your schedule, but this was a lot of fun. That's all right. Lee, you stick with us. Bridget, you have a fantastic day. Have a great holiday season.
Yes, get me scheduled earlier. Just so happened the meeting that I have to be on is like a board thing, so it's been scheduled for like 9 months. So sorry about that. But
that's all right. Thanks, Bridget.
Bye, Bridget.
Thanks. Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, Lee, what was your favorite article in the December Healthcare Business Monthly? You can't say all of them.
All of no. I did like Bridget's article, obviously as a remote worker, but I like there's an article in there about coding endometriosis with improved specificity that I liked, that Renee wrote this month. So they added to the existing N80 codes, so which only described the location of the endometriosis, and now the more specific codes provide other details, like the volume of the disease and if there's specific organs involved and so forth. So I mean, I'm fortunate I don't suffer from that, but I know a lot of women do. It's up to like 10% of women suffer from that, and it's difficult. So it was nice to see the more specific codes to help with the diagnosis and the treatment and so forth.
I'll be honestly, I really didn't know that endometriosis could migrate to the organs that it can outside of the peritoneum cavity. Like, I had no idea. So when I saw those, I was excited from a learning perspective, but then saddened from a human perspective. So yeah.
I know. When I was in the OBGYN arena, so many people were affected by it, and it could be so painful. It could be debilitating. So it's good that they're starting now to, focus more in it. I love the more specific diagnoses as well. But I too was like you, Christine, when I saw all those, I was like, endometriosis can be there? What?
Yeah. So, so more, just, any advancements for women's health, is always important to me. So it was a nice article to see when it came across my desk.
Awesome. Thanks. I know you're not a coder, and so when I was surprised you picked something so healthcare-y, because I always go to the soft skills type articles, but I love that you went right in because you felt how it could relate to you and women. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love to learn, and I'm a great reader, so I like to read about different things, even though I may not have the level of knowledge, that these ladies have. It's important to me, and then I can also, talk to my women friends about certain things as well. So it, makes a difference really to everybody, whether you're a coder or not, some of these articles. So
Yep, and it definitely does. You're right, because that one, it touched everyone, because I know I have people in my family that suffer from the condition as well. And it's not even just all about the coding, billing, auditing thing. It's just a human woman thing, So
Right.
I agree with you, Lee. It is good information. That was a great article just to bring awareness, even if you're not in our daily coding, billing, auditing arena, it still is very helpful to give you awareness of the different information. So yeah, that was a good one.
Exactly. Yep.
Hey, Lee, how are we doing on Healthcare Business Monthly writers?
We're doing okay. It's been a little slow coming in this past month, which it kind of tends to slow down as the holidays come. People kind of are thinking of other things. But we've had some nice articles come in, but obviously I'm here to, plug that we need more. So, whether you're writing about chair yoga or endometriosis, we want to know about it. If Bridget was also the member of the month for the December magazine, and when I wrote down a sentence, your coding and billing knowledge is powerful, and she wrote that for just as far as going through your own professional journey, but it's it's also important to us. We need your coding and billing knowledge to pass on to other people. So if we take all kinds of articles, if you have something specific to write about, like those codes, or if just a general healthcare article to write about, things like that in general, we want to hear about it. Soft skills, coding, billing, auditing, everything, as we write about. So if you can squeeze it in, we'd love to hear from you, and you can upload any articles you write directly on the website.
And I know that the couple of times that I've written for HBM, I don't have to worry about whether it's grammatically correct or does this go there, because your edit team is phenomenal. So anybody out there that's thinking, well, I have a unique way that I look at this set of codes, or I have something that I'd like to share with people, but I'm not a writer, just put it on paper and let the amazing editing team at AAPC polish it for you. Put it in its right order and its right perspective there. If you don't try, you never know how amazing your words might impact someone.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And you never know what people want to know about. They may want to know exactly what you're writing. I mean, that's not very important, or people wouldn't be interested. There's a lot more people interested in what you know than you probably think. So
yeah, anybody can submit an article, you or me or someone on your staff. You can champion them, support them into stepping into that arena. So I know, like I said, I've done it a couple of times. I'm going to do a better job in 23. That's going to be one of my resolutions, is to submit more articles to you.
All right.
Definitely. But make that your New Year's resolution, friends. You're going to do one article to HBM.
Yes.
How nice it'll be to show your copy of AAPC HBM and your articles there.
Get pedaling under that desk and get writing.
That's right.
Let's go.
Angelica Garcia asked that, can anyone submit an article? And
Yes.
we spoke to that. Angelica, we will be looking for your article. Yes. So you put yourself out there, and now there's pressure. Let's get it done. But what's interesting?
Reading Angelique's article this year. Is that what you're saying? I can't wait.
Yes. And we talk about this all the time. So sometimes we forget that that we have new viewers who may be just beginning their healthcare journey. And this is open to even students. Maybe you have a unique perspective on you're studying or preparing for the exam, or from a previous career, interviewing for jobs and resume. There's so many different directions to go. And we'd love to hear all of our members' voices. So this is an opportunity for everybody to share their voice.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Lee, thanks so much for being with us.
All right. Thanks for having me. Everybody have a good holiday.
You too.
Yeah. See you in the new year. All right.
Bye,
Thanks
Lee.
Bye-bye.
And for those watching, I did drop links to the HBM article submission page in the chat, so you can take a look at that, read through it. But I love, Christine, you brought this up. I mean, you may not be comfortable being a writer, but we have a great team who can help polish your work. Just come with the knowledge that you have, and we will make you look like a rock star.
Like I said, what's your New Year's resolution? And writing an article, that would be a great one to add.
Yes. Yes. So our friend Angelica, who asked the question in the comments, she said she's been a coder for 11 years, but haven't put herself out there much. This is what I love about AAPC is we give coders and healthcare business professionals that opportunity to put yourself out there on a local level, on national levels, and you can take baby steps into that. And I feel like one of those baby steps into that is by writing for HBM. Next, we'll see Angelica on the speaker circuit for local chapter meetings.
All right,
Yes.
I'm there. Let me know.
That's where it starts to joining in and being a presenter for your local chapter. That is phenomenal. That's a great way to get exposure and to get the experience. Yeah, I'm throwing in my little pitch for local chapters. Sorry, I'm the president of mine. So I'm always looking for new people to join. We love the fresh ideas and bringing in new people. You get all types of perspectives. So I always say connect with your local chapter and offer to present. A lot of them are doing virtual presentations right now, so you don't have to be in that state. Let me know. You can present from my chapter, Richardson, Texas. I'm looking for speakers for 2023. So yeah, that's a great way to kind of give yourself a nudge and, get your anxiety down. Because we're all your friends, right? Your chapters,
Right.
that's your peers, that's your colleagues. They want to see you do well. So you don't have to be intimidated or, fearful. They're there to welcome you and surround you with the support you need.
Yes. Yes.
My speaking started when I was explaining something to my husband way back in ICD 9. And I know that he said to me, the way that you said that, I really got the message. Now he's an air conditioning technician. And the fact that he knows more about ICD-10 than any other air conditioning technician is a testimony. But that was the motivation. He said, if you can explain this to me that way and I can understand it. So think about what topic it was that you talked to a colleague, a friend, a family member, and they gave you that same response. Like, wow, I didn't know that. You did a great job explaining it. That could be your next speaker topic or HBM article.
That's it.
Yes. Sonal Patel, I hope I said your name right. Sonal, she says,
Hey,
all right. She says,
we all know Sonal. She's amazing.
Well, I need to meet her. Well,
We can make that happen, Kimberly and I. We know people.
All right.
Phenomenal. You do want to get her on. She is great.
She said, you put the spotlight on the members as they feel comfortable. The editing team is great. Writing is a great way to share tips and tricks and knowledge. So thanks for sharing that. And then we've had a few chapter officers jump in. Karen Nicholson, she's a newly elected secretary, and Angelica, who we've been talking a lot about, she's probably like, please just move on from me. But she says, I am the RGV Texas secretary.
Nice.
So yeah, so I don't know. I mean, Texas is a big state. But
I think
Yeah.
I've driven through Texas for 3 days and not gotten to the end of it.
Yeah.
If it's that big.
It is very big.
Yeah. Well, you guys, you are busy with an upcoming conference with AAPC. We have so many niche conferences these days to really help those who specialize in certain areas of the revenue cycle. Christine, would you share a little bit about, I think is it REVCON?
REVCON,
Okay.
That's right. So I'm the chair of the Billing Advisory Committee with AAPC. I serve with my good friend, Kimberly Jolivet Williams, Vanessa Maldovan, Linda Wetter. We also have Angela. Oh, Angela, what's your last name? Anyway, we have an amazing team on our Billing Advisory Committee, and we have been pushing and pushing. That's right, Becky Poff. Oh, how could I forget the Poffster? Oh, never. So we have talked to AAPC about, some of the struggles that chapters or that practices or that organizations have with revenue cycle management. And we thought it would be nice to have a conference that was dedicated to solutions in revenue cycle management. So we have an amazing panel of speakers that's going to be talking about denials, establishing a revenue cycle program in your practice. What does it look like from a facility perspective, the professional service perspective, right? And how to really edify and strengthen that, which is the backbone of all of our organizations there. Without having those funds coming in appropriately, then we can't continue to operate. There's no extra funds to keep the practices running, or better yet, Christmas bonuses. Anyway, so you have to really look. We're coming up. REVCON is happening in February this year. It's a virtual event. So you can join us from the comfort of your own home or your office, and you're going to get some priceless information from some of the industry's top subject matter experts.
Okay, so would you say this is for anyone? Would you recommend this for someone who just graduated or received their CPCA?
I would.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because again, it's so very important, that coding aspect in revenue cycle management. If it's not coded correctly, if it's not sequenced correctly, if it doesn't have the correct modifier on it, all of that falls into denials, rejections on the revenue cycle side. So whether you're a new CPCA, a CPC that just focuses on coding, or you've been roped into the billing world, you know, that happens to a lot of us, that we start in our coding department and billing comes, hey, I see you're pretty good at this. Whether you're just in the revenue cycle, referrals, whether you are in authorizations, whether you are in verification and benefits, denial management, of course, any of those areas, from administrative perspective or to boots on the ground, actual billers, right? This is going to be one of those types of conferences that has something for everyone.
Yes. And I love it too, because when you ask about new billers and coders that are in the revenue cycle, we have tracks that talk about communication. And I know you know, when I came, my Raging Cajun Leo self, I didn't always know the right verbiage, right? The right way to communicate when it came to the payers, or even to know, just because an insurance company says one thing, that maybe you should probe a little more. Maybe you shouldn't just accept it and go on. So we have tracks that's going to cover payer communication, and even it'll help with just intercommunication with your providers, any of those insurance companies, even just talking it out with a colleague, knowing the right questions to ask. So I think sometimes if you're new, what they say, you don't have those biases already. You haven't been tainted. So it's good to get that right up front, right? So you know how to do it right from the very beginning.
Oh, go ahead, Christine.
Sorry, the one thing about healthcare is that it's always changing. It's always evolving, that we cannot rely on the way we've always done it, because your payers even change their policies sometimes multiple times per year, depending upon what's going on with code revision or even congressional policies that affect the way that we bill and that we're reimbursed there. So lots of good information.
Now, I dropped a link to REVCON in the comments, so everyone could check that out. You can take a look at the agenda, see who the speakers are. I just did that, and at the top of the speaker list is Christine. And then I scroll down just a little bit and Kimberly's on there. So Christine, tell us what your topic will be at REVCON.
So I'm going to be talking about denial management and the revenue cycle program in place. I really want to leave tools, solutions, because we all know that nothing that we do in revenue cycle is a one-time quick fix. We definitely need to continuously be modifying it, monitoring it, auditing it, putting new plans in place, because again, it's an ever-changing industry there.
Okay. Kimberly, how about yourself?
Yeah, so mine is similar to Christine's. I'm going to be on the monitoring of the denial management program as well, but more talking about analyzing those denials and knowing what a soft and a hard denial is, knowing the difference of how to work them, and just cover some management of common denials, steps that we can do to monitor that process, and especially knowing how to follow the rules of appeal, because sometimes we'll have to appeal things, 3 and 4 times just because we didn't take the time and go to that peer's website and read how do they want those appeals. Do they have a form? Maybe they have a REVCON form that you have to fill out. They don't want your nice type letter. So just going through some of those tips.
Okay, awesome. Cindy Har left a comment saying, I'm a firm believer that coders should be involved in rejections at some point. You learn so much from how to code correctly.
Yes, she is right. I call them the kissing cousins, right? We need each other. One cannot be well without the other. We have to be able to understand each other's language. We have to be able to communicate, and we need each other to be able to make sure that claim gets all the way to the end of the adjudication process. So I believe that too. And I think it's an eye opener. They tell you always learn so much more when you walk in someone else's shoes. So when you're a biller and you're doing your biller function, it's good to understand what coders do. And when you're a coder, and even from an auditing or compliance perspective. So, that's my new world of compliance, and it's a different hat. And I always tell everybody, I thought I knew so much more until I joined compliance, and now I feel like I'm a 5th grader. But hey, we're always learning, lifetime learners, right?
Kimberly and I have talked about this before, and we share this sometimes in the courses that we're teaching. We're both actually instructors for AAPC's virtual instructor-led training courses, VILT instruction. Not to toot our own horns, but we're having so much success in certification passing on the first time by attending these absolutely incredible trainings where you have a live instructor. And one of the things that I share a lot is coding is kind of a science. You read the note. If the note says this, you assign the code, but billing is an art. And it presents itself with different medians. It presents itself with different problems because the payers are also different. And the way that we're reimbursed in this country changes. We've got value-based reimbursement versus fee-for-service, your facility services, and how they report their services versus professional services. So the art there. So maybe we can look at REVCON as maybe how to paint these claims appropriately, right? And so that they're processed correctly by the different payers there.
You're right. And I even laugh because, we talk all the time, just looking at Blue Cross Blue Shield Texas versus Blue Shield, Florida Blue, the things are too different. So even with the same insurance carrier, going from state to state, things can be so different.
Okay. REVCON, February 7th and 8th. So a great way to start your year. And 14
virtual,
sessions.
Right? Virtual. You can sit back in those pajamas.
That's right. With your coordinating sweats.
Yes.
Very important, because that's going to help you feel all tidy.
And get your autonomous desk or one of those sit and stand.
That's right.
Get your QB going and
ride the Tour de France while you're watching, pedaling away.
That's
All right. Well, we hope to see you there. Again, I dropped the link to REVCON in the chat. February 7th and 8th, 12 CEUs can be earned. There are 2 tracks, 14 sessions. We hope to see you there. And what a great opportunity to learn. I have a question for the both of you, but I want to answer this first. Jessica Boyd is in the comments, and she says she's watching. She says, I'm hitting a motivation wall, stuck in Practicode with constant declines on job applications. So she's new, trying to get her foot in the door. It's so hard to break through in this field, even with 15 years experience in the medical field. A motivation article would be amazing about right now. And that's a great idea. Jessica, if you're not in the Facebook group, I would recommend going there. I'll drop a link into the comments, but there's so much support in the Facebook group, and that might be helpful for you. Kimberly, do you have any words of advice for Jessica trying to get her foot in the door?
I will tell you, connect with your local chapter.
Mhm.
If you don't have a local chapter next to you, find the closest local chapter, and you probably can attend a virtual meeting. I know for my meetings, every meeting, I try to give at least 1 or 2 job opportunities out there. There are jobs out there. I know there's the judge group. If you looked into them, I don't know if you've looked into them, but several of my new students, my students that recently passed, some of them are even CPCAs, and they were able to get contract jobs with the judge group. But hang in there. There are job opportunities, but I always tell everybody, sometimes I know we look at coding and billing and we think, oh, we go through all this education. Soon as we get done, we're going to just land a job. But if you think about it, when you get a bachelor's degree or an associate's degree, in my daughter, you know, has different opportunities. My son had different opportunities. They didn't come like that. So I used to have to encourage them and tell them, stay the course in any market. You're going to have to figure out what can you do to make yourself stand out as well. Our friend Sarah Reagan, she put.
I was about to say that. I was going to say Sarah Reagan and Project Resume, both of those organizations.
Annie at Project Resume and Sarah Reagan, connect with them because they can give you interview tips. They can give you things that you might need to perfect on your resume because we don't know what we don't know. So sometimes we think we have a perfectly polished resume and we know the perfect answers to those questions, and we just don't know what we don't know. So we're lacking in that area. So seek those experts in that field like Annie Barnaby and Sarah Reagan, and I'm sure there are plenty others. Those are just some that's at the top of my mind right now. But reach out to them and see what tips they have to help you perfect that process.
We also have a Oh, sorry. I just want to plug the mentorship program real quick. So if you, this is for students and veteran coders. AAPC has a mentorship program. If you Google AAPC mentorship program, it'll come up.
And I am a mentor. Actually, I have 3 mentees right now. So yes, it's people like us out there doing it. So
Yep, and it's a service that's a part of your membership, and so it no additional cost. And what a great way to be connected or to build relationships with a veteran coder as a newbie, and to get advice. And I mean, we're kind of scratching the surface here, but to have someone to talk to and walk you through that and guide you along would be very valuable. So I would take advantage of that. Also, on our YouTube channel are I Am AAPC interviews. And if you watch those, you'll see that everybody's path is different. There's no perfect A to B to becoming a medical coder. I've seen people who, if I think of a gentleman who was a chef, a career chef, and the pandemic obviously shut a lot of things down, and he realized he needed to take a different path, and medical coding was that. He took our courses online, passed, and he found employment. And I think it's different because another person, Gina Piccarilli, told me she had met someone who was working in the cafeteria at the facility she was working at, and they said, oh yeah, I'm taking medical coding courses. And so Gina kind of talked to her about that, and that person, that opened the door for that food service employee to get in the door at that facility as a coder. So don't give up. Connections are so critical. Christine, you had a comment?
Yeah. So I was telling you that I teach for VILT, the virtual instructor-led training course. And the first thing we do on orientation night is I want to know where everyone is coming from in their career, in their industry. I have a gentleman who was a logger in Oregon, passed the class with flying colors, and went on to have a career with one of the facilities there in Oregon doing coding. But really, it's just about connecting with people. And I wanted to circle back real quick to some of those resume service people that we were mentioning there, that they have a way of looking at your experiences and translating that into what employers are looking for. I often see jobs that say, well, we need 2 years of experience or equivalent. Well, if you've just finished the course and you finished Practicode and you've worked in an office previously in the front desk, maybe some of that experience could be translated through a good resume and really show what your knowledge is, So for you that my friend that was discouraged about going into the industry, or anyone else that's feeling that kind of stress, I think the general consensus is network. The IM AAPC is phenomenal. The motivation that you can get from hearing other people's stories of how they got to this area or this industry or this path that they took. And there's so many different paths in healthcare administration, management, right? Reimbursement, so many different areas that connect with people, connect with networking. That you're doing the great job of being here today on the social hour and watching.
Yep.
Yes, and don't give up. That's the one thing. Don't give up. Even when it gets weary and dreary and you think nobody's looking at your resume and you're getting all these declines, don't give up, because they always tell you, just when you give up, your blessing is right on the other side and you may miss it. So hang in there.
I recently interviewed this wonderful member. She was a zookeeper for a decade. That's what she always wanted to do. Wow. She lived that life, but realized she had maxed out with her potential there and hopped into to coding. And she has started a new wonderful career that has so many possibilities. That's what's incredible. I mean, you might start with your CPC, but could end up in auditing, compliance, training, so many different paths, management. Yes. So, okay, we're running short on time, but I need to get this out. So Christine and Kimberly, you both are educators. Is that your bread and butter now? You started out as coders and now you're full-time educators?
I have a loaf of bread, so I really can't even tell you what the bread and butter is, but it's definitely in my loaf.
Okay.
Well, no, currently right now, I work for a large hospital system in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I'm a compliance analyst. So I do that full time. And then I actually teach part-time for AAPC. And I also have my Jolivet Medicoding Institute where I do specialty courses like CPMA and cardiology and anesthesia through that. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. And then I'm very, very busy with my church. I do technical arts with my church and my church family, and I do photography. If you know anything about me, I love pictures. If you're with me, I'm gonna get your picture. So
we'll call you social media guru as well.
I'll take it.
Well, you guys are very involved with AAPC. Obviously, you work for us as consultants helping with our students. You both have great energy and are positive and are such a great addition to the AAPC family. How did that happen? Yeah.
My journey with AAPC started back in 1998. I wanted to find the industry where my people were. So that's where I found it and started just like anyone else attending my local chapters. They were in person at the time. And I got to meet people that spoke my language, right? And understood what I meant when I was talking about some of the different struggles in the areas that I was in. I went into medical records and CDI, followed by billing, did billing for a really, really long time, and then went into education because I have been so blessed. It's been such a great ride, every avenue, every aspect. And just like Kimberly said, compliance, I fell in love with compliance. Wait, you're going to tell me how to do it right and give me all the tools to do it right? On board, right? So that was my journey. And through all of that, I have always had AAPC there to help support me, whether it was education or it was opportunity, or it was just the networking with the people that spoke my language, right? That's why AAPC is my family.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Christine. Kimberly.
Yes. So I kind of fell into it. I had a lady that believed in me. I was a single teenage mother, and she knew of a unit secretary program in my city. And she helped me, got me enrolled in that. And that's what introduced me into healthcare. So I actually started off as a unit secretary. And then I got with this amazing VASTA group that believed in me, and they supported me. And they were like, if you're willing to do the work, you're willing to study, we'll pay for it. And so they were supported me, and I got that. And so that's another reason why I believe in paying it forward. And I always try to make things affordable and economical and attainable because somebody did it for me. And so I kind of fell into the education role as a local chapter officer, y'all. I was education officer. The local college here reached out looking for someone to teach. I searched for people. No one responded. She was like, well, how about you? And I was like, well, I can't do that. I don't have any advanced degrees. She was like, yes, you can. You have the certifications and you have the coding and billing knowledge we need. And once that happened, the rest was history. And I've been educating ever since. And that was in 2015. So I've just been blessed. And I definitely believe in paying it forward. My grandmother taught me a saying when I was young, and my whole family lived by it. It's called love, care, and share. And we tell each other that every time, in the good times, the bad times, the hard times, we try to love, care, and share. And that's where my energy comes from. I can attribute it to my grandmothers.
I love it so much. Thank you guys for both sharing. And so we've spoken about your contract work that you do with AAPC, but you're also a member of a committee, maybe several committees. Would you guys tell us? Craig Larson is over that at AAPC, and he's been watching. Christine, what committee are you a part of?
So I'm the chair for the Billing Advisory Committee, and we have, I believe, 6 committees that are dedicated to finding ways to assist our members. We have the Billing Committee, the Coding Committee, the Documentation Committee, the Practice Management Committee, the Compliance Committee, and Craig, who am I missing? I'm missing one more committee. Well, you can't know everything, guys, and that's why you reach out to your people. Craig, where are you?
That's right.
That's what we do. So I've also had the pleasure of working with a lot of the curriculum committee. I know Kimberly worked with the test committee, working on the test, different tests that we have at AAPC. So there's always been a great opportunity. I work with Ask the Expert. So
Yes.
we get those questions that come in from you where you're on the fence. You're like, well, I heard this and I researched this, but I don't quite have that bullet answer that I need. AAPC has the Ask the Expert, where for a very, very tiny fee, really honest guys, you can get that higher subject matter expert advice on coding, billing, auditing. You can get it on different specialty codings, modifiers, right?
Yeah.
So AAPC has an avenue for everyone, I think.
Yes.
Kimberly, real quick, what committee are you on? The same as Christine?
I am. So I serve with Christine. She is my chair for the Billing Advisory Committee. I do have the opportunity where I've worked under Catherine Abel for the CEMC curriculum doing the certification exam. I did that a couple of years and I enjoyed that. And I also provide information on Ask the Expert and work as a SNEED under Craig, which is so phenomenal. So yes.
One thing I sense and have learned about you is that you give. It's not about what can AAPC do for me. I mean, and that is a part of this, but you are willing to give your time, and through that, your skills are kind of shown to us. We see like where your strengths are, and we see your personalities, and then we think, hey, these 2 amazing people will be great on these committees, or we can use support from them in these ways. And I say that to everybody who's watching, in that be willing to share your knowledge, not hoping that it leads to a wonderful job or more money. And we all want that, but in that we can support those who are beginning their coding journey, or maybe seeking a different path, or maybe in simply supporting your local chapter. And through that, opportunities, doors open. Doors open through that.
Always. I tell everybody, you have to be willing to invest in yourself at whatever cost. You can't always get caught up in it, especially like for local chapters. People always say you serve so much for your local chapter, you do so much for them, and you don't get paid. The rewards that I get from serving in my local chapter is I can't even define it with a monetary amount. I mean, it is just so phenomenal. And the reward comes, it's not monetary or financial, but you will be amazed just in your self-confidence, your reassurance, and your networking. You get with professionals, like they say, if you're the smartest person in the room, find a new room. So with connecting with all of these people, I'm able to connect with so many more, and they just make me great. It looks like I'm great, but I'm really not. I got all these people behind me, and AAPC set up that platform. I will always be available to do anything I can for AAPC because it's what afforded me the life that I have, and it's helped me with everything that I'm doing right now. So anything I can do to pay it forward, I'm always on board.
Yes, and we're all at different stages in life. So someone might not be able to give at the same level as Christine and Kimberly, but we've spoken about writing for Healthcare Business Monthly.
Oh, you can always do something.
Yes,
There's always something you can do.
Yes.
Don't think it's too small either. You know, I have some people, they're like, oh, I'll just come to the meeting and I'll pass out the handouts. Any little thing, any little thing you can do. You can always do something.
I wanted to jump in and remind you, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. It's time for a New Year's resolution, my friends. Where's AAPC going to fit into that?
Yes. And there might be a student watching this who is thinking, are you crazy? I'm new to all of this. I have no idea where, what I'm doing, but be willing to step in the unknown. And I feel like AAPC is a great place, a safe place to do that. And you're welcome to find me on LinkedIn, Kimberly or Christine. We would love to help you and support you on your journey, as would anybody in the comments. I see all of the names in here, and there are heavy hitters who know about service and success who would love to help anybody
Linda's
watching.
on here too. Linda, she's on here. She's our fellow BAC member.
Hey, Linda.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, we could talk for 2 hours.
I know.
And it would be fun, and it wouldn't be boring, and I'd love it. But we've got to go.
Yes.
So you guys hang on just for a second, Christine and Kimberly. Just for everybody watching, you can also, as you know, you can listen to this webcast on our podcast. Go into your favorite podcast app and search for the AAPC podcast. You can listen to not only past social hours and this social hour, which will be up shortly, but you can also listen to I Am AAPC interviews and be inspired and motivated. And maybe you'll find and hear something that will lead you on a different path in your healthcare journey. And we hope everybody has a wonderful holidays. It's so great to be with everybody today.
Merry Christmas.
And we will see everybody in 2 weeks.
Oh, wonderful. Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Thank you so
everybody.
much.
Happy holidays, everybody.